The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening, this is TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelleton. In this edition, revamping health service delivery in Medan, cattle bound for Launa Kalana, and Jan Stringer vying for selection to Team PNG. "33 men have been sentenced to 6 months imprisonment for fighting at Serembang village in Finchafan, Morobe province. The incident, believed to be related to a major hydro project at Burum local level government, resulted in the death of a man and the burning down of 20 houses at Serembang village late last month.
Late in July, a man was allegedly killed following a disagreement over landowner identification believed to be related to a major hydro project at Burum local level government. Burum LLG President Philip Pauline said the incident occurred at Serembang village.
Gagidu arrange na go arrest him first 40 plaman na goda no Gagidu. Olgo Gagidu na all processing start na all family blo deceased all lo layet all trip la cargo lo place na all goyet na all touching down all houses ya. Time kata man all arrest na start finish lo Gagidu all processing all lo Gagidu.
During the retaliation, 2 locals suffered spear and knife wounds, and 20 houses were burnt to the ground, displacing over 100 men, women and children. Pauline acknowledged the prompt response by the Morobe provincial government and administration under the leadership of Provincial Administrator Max Bruton, who supported lay police deployment to boost numbers in Finchafan.
Start to bring him normal sigo. Now what's I'm talking about now Monday and first class long over primary school. I'm only big primary school me plug. Now I'm back up junior school do me plan. We still appeal on all authorities, also police now, all provincial administration. But continue to support na we plan must making work on finish long.
Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command, Peter Guinness, said with support from the provincial administration and Finchafan district, they were able to deploy 10 officers to assist the 10 who were on the ground.
And they were able to arrest 50 suspects. 33 were arrested and charged for fighting. 1 was picked up for willful murder, and 5 were arrested and charged for grievous bodily harm or GBH. Those that were arrested and detained in Finchafan, the magistrate in Lay traveled to Finchafan and conducted a court hearing in Finchafan. And the 33 were all convicted and sentenced to 6 months imprisonment or a fine of 500 kina. Last week, Friday, I sent police boat down to Finchafan and they picked up the whole of those 33 and brought them over to Lay, and they were kept at Lay police cells. They were transported to Buimo to serve their 6 months imprisonment.
ACP Guinness said apart from the 33 convicts, 12 suspects were apprehended when they were traveling by road back to Lay. They had their court appearance today and are remanded at Buimo as well. These are the suspects implicated in the burning down of houses. Police investigations are still continuing with more arrests expected. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
One of Papua New Guinea's leading taxation lawyers, Pauline Bray, was sworn in today as an acting judge of the Supreme and National Court benches. The swearing-in was officiated by Governor-General Sir Bob Dadai and witnessed by Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika and Bray's family and colleagues.
The swearing-in ceremony of acting Judge Pauline Bray will now increase the number of women on the Supreme and National Court bench, as well as one of the two judges from Simbu Province. Bray was sworn in at the Government House this morning and witnessed by the PNG Judiciary, Governor-General Sir Bob Dadai, Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika and Bray's family and colleagues.
I, Pauline Bray, do promise and declare that I will well and truly serve the independent state of Papua New Guinea and its people in the office of a judge.
A congratulatory greet was made before a toast made to King Charles III.
And this is the second acting judge. She's come on board. She's now on duty from now, as upon her swearing in. She's now on duty. She will probably go into court either tomorrow or whenever, or this afternoon. But I don't think we have any matter ready for her to deal with this afternoon. So transition is from being a lawyer to being a judge. That's all. Lawyer with the taxation office, and so that's the reason why the JLSC say, well, we need to bring expertise from another area of the law to the judiciary, and so from the taxation office, she's bringing with her many years of experience as a lawyer with the taxation office.
Sir Gibbs further elaborated that the taxation law is complicated and the judiciary needed people with a wide experience in taxation law.
I'd like to thank the Judicial Legal Services for their confidence in making the decision to appoint me as acting judge. I know it comes with a lot of responsibilities, and I will take my oath of office seriously and ensure that I do my best to uphold justice and ensure that the Constitution and the relevant laws of Papua New Guinea are upheld in resolving disputes. And I look forward to working with the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, the judges of the National Court and the Supreme Court, and the judicial staff, and I'm looking forward to the appointment.
Bray is one of the leading taxation lawyers in PNG, and her term as acting judge will go on for a period of 12 months. Jasmine Irojak, TVWAN News.
Air Niugini has chosen Airbus A22100 and A220-300 aircraft to replace the Fokker F-70 and F-100 regional jets. The jets are said to arrive in country by the first quarter of 2025. State Enterprises Minister William Duma and acting Air Niugini CEO Gary Seddon made the announcement today.
This plane, the Airbus 220, will actually help turn our country around in many ways. And I'm proud to say that this plane will be the people's balance. It will be an airplane, it will be loved by our people. It will never let our country down. It will never let the people of our country down. We have everything to gain, and I can confidently say, after having seen this long, tedious process that was employed by the team from Air Niugini, and the advisors, that we've done the right thing.
Exciting day. We look forward to receiving those aircraft in 2025. It's at this juncture that I would like to thank Minister Zuma, his stewardship, his leadership and direction in allowing us to take this course. I'd also like to thank the Marape Rosso government for their support and encouragement. I'd also like to thank our board of directors for their assistance, their guidance and their stewardship as we undertake, as Minister describes, a large financial undertaking, a commitment to the future of this airline.
Medan Provincial Health Authority, just like any other health authority, has its struggles and challenges in delivering the National Health Plan in key result areas. Poor medical supply and consumables, the aging workforce and rundown infrastructure isn't helping a lot either. However, there is hope as the Medan PHA embarks on assessing these challenges and improving services. The Medan Provincial Authority is revamping service delivery in order to deliver the 10-year National Health Plan and its key result areas. Key result areas include increased access to quality and affordable health services, address disease burdens and targeted health priorities, and strengthen health systems. Dr. Judith Gawi, Director Curative Services, said many factors are dragging the authority down, including poor medical supplies and consumables, an aging workforce, and rundown infrastructure. Dr. Judith said up to 60% of all frontline clinic and aid posts in the 6 districts need redevelopment and maintenance because the Modilon General Hospital is burdened with taking on cases that otherwise could be dealt with by these establishments.
So what now the hospital is actually going into is an infrastructure upgrade in order to upgrade the system to a provincial specialist hospital as per the National Health Plan and also the plans which the National Department of Health has for us. The way forward now for the hospital now is to do a baseline assessment of what's the progress of how we as the hospital have been providing the service to the people. So for the current previous 15 years, we have never been accredited, or we have never accredited the hospital to know whether what's the stage of the hospital it is in, whether it's in 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. So we haven't got the baseline from that. The last time was conducted in 2008, in which the hospital scored a star of, I think, 3-star. So now during this year going forward, we tend to use the National Health Service Standards to assess the service that we've been providing.
Dr. Gawi said they will internally assess services being provided, starting from Local 1 standard, which are 8 posts, right up to Level 5, which is the hospital. Recommendations from the survey results will illustrate how they improve clinical referral pathways, the clinical, corporate and public health governance issues, and infrastructure development. According to Dr. Gawi, this will enable system strengthening in terms of finance and budgeting, compliance with how the authority is run with respect to delivering the National Health Plan and the MPHA operational plan.
So as for us at the hospital, we are looking to embark this in the next few weeks to come, in which the executive hospital manager plus his teams are looking into that, and also will be conducting the National Health Service Standard district rollout throughout the 6 districts. We will start targeting Bogia, Sumkar and Raikos, the first 3 districts, and then we will roll it out to the other districts like Middle Ramu and Usino Bundi.
The Medan PHA would like to see that the General Hospital cater for referrals and emergencies, the major health issues. This means frontline aid posts will need to be operating well enough to cater for populations in district communities. Currently, the Modilon General Hospital is undergoing some maintenance with renovations to the emergency wing and labor ward. The rainy season in the month of July and August has turned the road conditions in Aroma, Central Province, from bad to worse. The people of Aroma are appealing to the government authorities to attend to this dilemma, as traveling has been made more difficult and even dangerous.
Rains in the month of July and August have taken a toll on travelers commuting the road in Aroma Central Province. Surrounding villages have been working together for several months to fix the road using gravel-filled rice bags, tree trunks and grass to allow a flow of traffic. For PMVs ferrying passengers, it's a day's work to get past the muddy patches. Pulling and pushing vehicles through the muddy conditions is a common sight now. Many smaller vehicles cannot get through because of the mud density. Pastor Vincent Ahi serves as a district director of the village court in Aroma. He shared what has been going on.
The road has been affected, and it's been past 2 months now. The villagers, especially the Aroma community, have been struggling. With this road condition.
They are appealing to local leaders for an intervention so that they can travel with ease to reach important government services and access markets. The issue of bad road conditions during the wet season is nothing new. The Aroma people are accustomed to this natural tragedy. However, they are hopeful a permanent solution is forthcoming. Jasmine Irujak, TV1 News.
TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
You like something on winning but scale rice mechi pack? Scale rice like giving you plenty chance to winning plenty scale prices. Kind price so same 256 per scale rice Nambi set, 192 per scale rice Kemo Eski, not 44 per JBL Enco speakers, 102 per wireless microphone. The win, 5 minutes scale rice or Ori rice products, writing full name na contact details below box and receipt, not drop him inside the entry box. You get 4 per draws, 4 per fortnight, 116 per winners, na 16 per promotion locations. Just try us all. You got terms na conditions for display.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame oil, winning taste.
Open nets.
Australia's favorite chef is taking you around the world to meet amazing people.
Teach me how to make this one.
Experience delicious food.
Bon appetit.
And discover the most incredible flavors.
Yum. Nice.
This is a culinary expedition on a budget.
50 rupees. That's a deal. Whoa.
Cheers. Around the world with Mano Fidel. A brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost here.
Oh, out! What a beauty! He's on absolute fire!
Welcome back. Enga Province Governor Sir Peter Ipatas, along with the National Cultural Commission's Executive Director Stephen Kilanda, officially launched the remote Malamata Yapo Cultural Festival. Kilanda declared the cultural festival a nationally recognized event, presenting an official certificate of recognition to mark the occasion.
Was a vibrant scene in the Karawari local level government where Enga Governor Sir Peter Ipatas and the National Cultural Commission's Executive Director Stephen Kilanda jointly inaugurated the Malamata Yapo Cultural Festival. This unique event took place at the confluence of Enga and East Sepik provinces, drawing attendees from neighboring villages in both regions.
Now this work must continue. I must look and stop. No. Knowledge now, wisdom this is the festival of chairman of community. You plan sit down, now you plan meeting, you plan discuss now. Mandate is blouse. Indo lo ibi murugum dona wo kafa em no kan em wo ibi lokata ila house must stop plapa meteni na wisdom na knowledge na wo ila house or labun man masino na lani mulang ploma.
Kilanda declared the festival as a nationally recognized event with an official certificate of recognition. He also pledged 10,000 kina to support the hosting of the event. Kilanda called on both provincial governments to endorse the unique Malamata Yapo Cultural Center and showcase their distinctive cultures rarely seen. Governor Ipatas expressed his admiration for the festival's cultural display and the unity it fostered within the remote Malamata community.
26 years. No, what something you may can show him all Narplamana Papua New Guinea, or Merilo Papua New Guinea, or overseas line. All come to see what I'm laying. You got one of them. People glass him, you go on. Number one, people are looking more some culture. It's like culture and tradition. Sing blow you, passing blow, walking fire, kind all this something here. Custom, yeah. Culture blow you may aim on the big plus something in a pulling manica. You may not find one plus something where in a pulling manicam, the money carry money come close door. So we believe our best cultural center inside Long Papua New Guinea, outside of most people.
Governor Ipatas urged the attendees to embrace cultural activities as agents of positive change and development, transcending conflict and embracing unity. Carol Kiru Jr., TVWAN News.
Meantime, Sir Peter reaffirmed his commitment to education and community progress when he announced plans to purchase a sawmill for Malamata Primary School using funds from the Enga Children's Fund. This is a move aimed at enhancing educational facilities. He also pledged close to 200,000 kina over 2 years to bolster the resources at the school. To improve overall community well-being, he pledged to construct a community aid post and secure the Malamata rural airstrip with proper fencing, reflecting his comprehensive approach to development in the area.
Give him education good, come a qualified teacher, come to the community. Na milugi me mosema, emi ring leader blow ibla here. Na emi come me sambla kan ting ha. So me feel him mosem education investment blowing a province you no go waste. Sambla begini lombus oli kamba. So me ama masa, me no sabe lo kara begini tamuli go school, me pay school be nothing stapa. So lo me talking me or me one product lo me long. Enga teachers college. Mo labulin yet give him ground. Ground lo lenga can come school. So school now sick and tubla big lo something lo enga. Me bla abulin lo lim start. Because abulin line line block fight. Big lo believe lo me him start long. How lo reach him you bla larre place ya. Long sabe, give him sabe. So time me come today na me look him school start again me amamas.
Yangaru Sausia was the top performing district in the East Sepik province according to the Grade 8 National Examination Data 2022 report, followed by Maprik and Wiwek. MP Richard Maru said this was the result of Yangaru Sausia Development Authority's investment in education in the last 10 years and now into its 11th year under its policy of God first and education second. Yangaru Sausia District Development Authority is seeing its education policy bear fruit after it was ranked as the top performing district in the education space for East Sepik Province. Local member Richard Maru said this was the result of Yangaru Sausia Development Authority's investment in education in the last 10 years. On top of that, the Australian government invested 18 million kina for the Yangaru School of Excellence. Coupled with contributions from other partners, Yangaru Sausia has seen an investment of over 60 million kina in education alone in the last 10 years. Maru shared this after he officially opened a twin classroom for Boyimsara Elementary School. This twin classroom was completed at the cost of 150,000 kina. The DDA also brought furniture for the classrooms at a cost of 18,000 kina. The people of Boyimsara have requested for a primary school so that their children would not have to walk a longer distance to Warrabung Primary School to be educated. Maru said they have to sort out land issues first before they can have a school of their own.
It has always been my vision time we take over young social leadership. Also been Midlands number one and the most educated population in the whole of East Sepik as a district. As a result of this vision, God first, education second, inside the last 10, now come 11 years. Yangun South Sea I'm investing our own contribution, nearly 40 million on education alone. Also, the people deliberately at a DDA level, people invest in early childhood classrooms. So on one time, we start 3 years, 4 years, we start school finish. People are starting more early. You know, start a place that line more all filthy habits in a place. No, they must come to school and discipline. They are taught and mentored properly.
The local MP then presented 2 chainsaws to the Boyimsara people as part of the housing scheme to build permanent houses before power can be brought in. Cattle from Morobe province were loaded onto a barge today bound for Central Province. Over 200 cattle from Sialum and Erap will make an estimated 1-week voyage from Voko Point in Ley to Kiapara. From there, they will be taken to the Livestock Development Corporation's ranch at Launa Kalana.
Cattle from Sialum in Morobe's Tewai Siasi district and Erap Huan Gulf district were supposed to leave for Launa Kalana in Central Province last week. However, the trip was delayed due to bad weather. On Friday, August the 11th, 54 steers, cows and heifers were loaded from Sialum onto a barge bound for Voko Point in Ley. Bad weather slowed the trip down, with the Sialum cattle arriving at Voko Point on Monday morning. This morning, Sialum Cattle Ranch Manager Kara Wenis and his team started the arduous task of transporting cattle from Erap, then loading them onto the barge. Trucks have been transporting around 15 cattle heads in one load, with Wenis hoping to fit all 300 Erap cattle on the barge.
I look somewhere and before any shipment of cattle must come up, people must make the shipment inside law. Time weather and Mr. Goodbla. But time people have been come this month of July, August, September, and one month where windy season, high tide, this la Sialum place, with straight place where big plus strong wind, plenty tide and come up. So I mean dangerously lo people load, but good la God and stuff. Now God make it impossible me play come through. Now me talk 10 kilo this time. All animal now me play kisim come. Now I'm already stepping to the ship now. By country by looking one all animal you can produce him. Shalom and produce him all good la cow. Now one time this walk about where medicine director Terry Coim me talking me long. Kisim all cow na making walk inside long or locals or rules only one bell through long walk global Macau. Now all tintin lo inside lo partnership program at them LDC.
If weather permits, the voyage to Kiapara in Rigo district will take a week. At Kiapara, they will be offloaded and transported by road to Launa Kalana estate to breed and distribute to central farmers. This is in line with the corporation's objective of increasing the stock in the country. This will be the second shipment of cattle to Launa Kalana from Morobe. The first shipment was in December 2022 when LDC bought 187 cattle from smallholder farmers in Sialum to breed at the Launa Kalana Ranch. Jasmine Aero-Jack, TVWAN News.
823-foot boats, 40-horse outboard motor engines, fishing and safety gears were recently handed over to fishing groups in Vanimo Green and Aitape-Lumi districts in West Sepik Province. The new equipment is to help improve the livelihood and well-being of communities that depend highly on coastal fishing.
The craft boats with 40-horse outboard motor engines are part of the support provided by the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization as a part of the EU-funded Straight PNG program. It is aimed at driving sustainable development of agri-food value chains, improve diets, enrich nutrition, and support food security in rural communities. The recipient groups were selected based on the criteria agreed upon between the Provincial Fisheries and Marine Resources Office and the EU Straight PNG program. FAO Fisheries Officer Mohamed Zakir explained that engine-mounted craft boats are essential assets for the people of the Sepik region as a means of transportation and for ferrying of processed fish to town markets. Zakir said this intervention will help to sustainably increase the catch and profitability of fish businesses while also contributing significantly to food security and nutrition at the household level. Acting District Administrator for Aitape, Job Tomor, thanked the EU through its program for providing this support to coastal fishing groups. He vowed that these boats would be used to catch more fish, transport to market, and make more money. To ensure sustainability of the equipment, FAO coordinated a capacity development training for skippers and crews on basic operations of two-stroke engines to be confident in performing basic troubleshooting and regular service and maintenance for their engines. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2790 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2715 $0.4158 Australian dollars, $0.2413 euro, and 39.15 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, cocoa and crude oil closed higher. The rest closed a day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back with news from around the region after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Boyimsara.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Welcome back. In regional news, Fiji's Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka has announced that Fiji stands ready to provide assistance and relief efforts following the catastrophic wildfires that have ravaged Maui, Hawaii, claiming the lives of over 90 individuals. Rabuka conveyed Fiji's solidarity with Hawaii and its willingness to aid in the ongoing relief operations. The Prime Minister said that he has already alerted the Minister for Defense, the Minister for Finance and the Minister responsible for disaster and preparedness regarding Fiji's potential involvement in providing assistance to Hawaii. The wildfires in Maui have left a trail of destruction, devastating communities and natural landscapes. At least 93 people have been killed in fires on the island of Maui, with Hawaiian authorities expecting the toll to rise even further. Specialist crews are still making their way through the devastated town of Lahaina as locals continue to do what they can to support those who've lost everything.
Well, where we are now, what we're seeing is part of what's a massive grassroots effort to support those people who've been left without critical supplies by these fires. This is one of many, many donation sites across the island. You can see lots and lots of water, and in fact water on some parts of the island is unsafe to drink if there is indeed running water. Food, of course, toiletries, even some mattresses here. Now, this particular lot of goods will be boated into Lahaina, which is just up the coast here, and those kind of runs are being made every day. There are also trucks who are allowed on the main road into Lahaina to take in supplies. We spoke earlier this morning to an Australian who's lived here for about 7 years. She's a volunteer at the Maui Food Bank, and she's concerned that once this all stops and that once the TV cameras go away, that there is a huge need for people who will be needing support for a very long time to come.
I've never seen anything like this on Maui. Sorry, I get emotional. Just the community pulling together has been amazing. But like I said, this is a long game. So, you know, right now we're inundated with food, and that is the most amazing thing. But, you know, the best thing people can do for us is to donate money. So when in 3 months and 6 months and a year we're still trying to feed people, we can do that.
More specialist teams are coming in today. We heard a pretty sobering statistic from authorities that by the close of yesterday, only 3% of the worst affected area had been searched. So that gives you an indication of just how much this death toll could possibly rise. We also have more National Guard going in, and that's because authorities are really concerned about people accessing the heart of Lahaina, where there may well be, in fact, almost certainly still are human remains. So National Guard helping out with that. At the same time, a growing sense of anger and frustration here. An investigation has now been launched into why it appears that none of Maui's warning systems went off. Those are tested monthly, but apparently they didn't go off. And also some frustration that people, while praising the community spirit here and this kind of action, are thinking that perhaps there should be a bit more of a government response here. So some pretty difficult questions for authorities. At their most recent press conference, they were saying they would do all they could. They would answer these questions, and they asked the community for patience. But of course, with only a couple of these victims identified so far, there's a lot of pain here and a lot of anger.
Pacific Island countries are vulnerable to a wide range of weather, climate and ocean extreme events, including tropical cyclones and typhoons, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, drought, among others. A 10-year program to strengthen the Pacific region's ability to anticipate, plan for, and respond to high-impact and extreme weather, water and ocean events. Weather Ready Pacific is one of the key items on the agenda for officials at the 6th meeting of the Pacific Meteorological Council in Fiji. To address critical gaps and to provide a sustainable and harmonized regional approach, the Weather Ready Pacific is a key part of the response. Housing will be at the top of the agenda at tomorrow's National Cabinet meeting amid sustained pressure on the federal government to do more to support renters.
Chief Ministers and Premiers, as well as the Prime Minister, will be making their way to Brisbane for this very important National Cabinet meeting. It's certainly shaping up to be a very important one. We know that this meeting is happening at a time when housing has been dominating the political debate. That's because the government's really signature housing bill, the Housing Australia Future Fund, has been stalled in Parliament. That's because the Greens say that they won't support it unless there is some more support for renters. They would like to see a nationwide freeze on rents. This is something that the government is certainly not keen on, and instead at the National Cabinet meeting tomorrow we're likely to see some movement on some renters' rights. That would be to better align rental policy across the states and territories, such as on no-cause evictions. But the Prime Minister's focus is certainly on increasing housing supply. We know that the demand for housing, including rental properties, is surging across Australia, but at the same time we're seeing that the rate of building approvals and commencements is actually slumping. Now, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, wants to turn that around, and this morning he visited a social housing development in Melbourne, and here's a little of what he had to say ahead of tomorrow's National Cabinet.
I'm very confident that what I know is that every Premier and Chief Minister, as well as the Commonwealth, gets it. And we're all on the same page. We all know that housing supply is the key. We all know as well that renters need more rights, but it can't be done in a way that actually dampens housing supply.
And that was the Prime Minister there saying housing supply is the key. He says that all the states' chief ministers and premiers are on the same page, so we'll have to wait and see until after National Cabinet tomorrow to see if that's the case.
This is TV1 News. After the break, PNG kickboxers make US bout worthwhile. Jan Stringer vying for selections into Team PNG, and Alex Max delivers against Muruks. Stay tuned.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Without a doubt, you care for your loved ones. You want to keep them safe, whoever they may be with, wherever they may be, in the home or facing the world outside. Don't let anything stop you, not even bacteria. Protex helps protect your skin with natural extracts. Boosted with flaxseed oil, Protex helps eliminate 99.9% of bacteria for healthy skin. And with the power of natural goodness, you're ready to play every day. Protex, for the good health of your skin.
Welcome back. Two Papua New Guinean kickboxers have won their international championships fights in a one-day event held in North Miami. Florida in the U.S. over the weekend. PNG female kickboxer Manela Kamba and Thomas Kagil won their respective bouts against their international opponents.
Papua New Guinea kickboxer Thomas Kagili, nicknamed Spider-Man, won his fight against his 6-footer opponent, Seyi Benjoko, from the United Kingdom. Thomas took the fight stage under a punishing attack in the first round, blocking off explosive throws and kicks from his opponent. He managed to pull through, winning on point with height and reach advantage. PNG Kickboxing President and coach Stanley Nandek said Kagili outclassed his opponent, but the UK fighter came back strongly in the second and third round. With a positive attitude, Kagili maintained his defensive and combination of boxing and kickboxing techniques to win with a scorecard of 30-27. In the main event, Nelson Sampson took the pressure against Miami's national hero. PNG's Nelson dominated the fight and was a crowd pleaser, but couldn't contain his opponent with home crowd advantage, losing in the third round. Manela Kamba is one of 3 PNG female kickboxers making a name at the international scene, winning her fight in the 70 kg weight category. The kickboxing team returns on August 17 and will prepare a team for another fight in Sydney, Australia on September 16. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
PNG Air National Athletics Championships concluded successfully at the Sir John Guy Stadium on Sunday, August 13, with some incredibly good times recorded in the sprints and middle and long distance races. The National Championships is being used as a platform to finalize the team for this year's Pacific Games in Honiara.
PNG Air National Athletics Championship started on Friday 11th August at the Sir John Guy Stadium. It concluded on Sunday 13th with medal presentations. Approximately 70 athletes and para-athletes from various clubs competed. Athletics PNG President Tony Green said the Nationals is very important in giving coaches some perspective on where athletes are at in terms of form, fitness and commitment. Also how hard they have been training in the lead-up to the Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands.
Obviously, performance at the National Championships is important, but it's not the only factor that we take into account. You know, we look for consistency over a period of time, you know, experience of the athlete and how they've performed in the past when they've been selected. Sometimes we have more than 3 athletes that we can select for an event, and we have to make a decision based on, you know, like experience and how they've performed in other events when they've been selected to go overseas.
Green said the men's middle and long distance races will be very competitive, with 12 national squad athletes training consistently for almost 3 years now in preparation for the various international competitions ranging from 800 to 10,000 meters.
We've been working for quite a while now for preparing our team for the games. So we obviously have a good idea now what the team's going to look like. But there are still a few places to finalise, so we'll be announcing our team after this event. We do have all the athletes that are in contention for the games. They're all here, including the US-based athletes and the 3 girls who are training in Australia, Relly Caputin, Adrian Manaki and Sharon Toako. So we're looking forward to a really good competition.
While majority of the squad have been endorsed by Olympic PNG Justification Committee, there may be 1 or 2 additional members who will be endorsed after the national championships. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Young 20-year-old Australian athlete Robert Stringer has put up his hand to represent PNG at this year's Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands. Robert, who competed in the middle distance events during the PNG Air National Athletics Championships in Port Moresby over the weekend, is one of PNG and Australian heritage.
Robert Stringer is a junior triathlon athlete who has represented Queensland in the under-16 category on 2 occasions. Robert took part in the PNG National Championships in 2020 and won. His mother from Northern and Milne Bay provinces, while his father, Luke, is an Australian pilot who had worked for the national airline in Papua New Guinea. Robert has a strong desire to represent his mother's country if given the chance to be part of the PNG contingent for the November Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands. The tall and athletic young man competed in the 1500 meters and 800 meters over the weekend at the Sir John Guy's Stadium, competing against members of the current PNG elite squad, which was quite an exciting experience. Robert came first in the 1500 meters and third in the 800 meters under challenging heat and windy conditions. Before the races, Robert shared how he first got into athletics at an early age, along with sister, who is also into triathlon.
Born in Cairns, grew up in Australia, but mum was born and raised up here in Papua New Guinea, so it's where my heritage comes from. And I was doing triathlon about from the age of 8, 9, and then I had a tri coach come up to me, you need to find yourself a running coach because you're a good runner. So I found one at Border Striders with Brian Chapman when I was about 16, 17, sort of haven't looked back. Just fell in love with the running, fell in love with my team. Just went from there.
Robert was blown away when he was invited to compete in the National Athletics Championships. He described it as an unreal experience.
I just got the call up thanks to Luke Donatini, who I was just so happened to be walking past him at the track where I train in Brisbane. And I'm like, really be interested in representing PNG like much from there. And he was like, oh, I know some of the boys, I can get your foot into the door. So thanks to Luke and my peer as well, and to also Brett and Tony Green, thanks to them as well. And really just looking forward just to get on the track and run. I mean, I love the racing, I love the sport, I love everything about it, so I'm just excited to get out there.
From his impressive runs over the weekend, Robert is keeping his fingers crossed to make the team. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
His New Britain Agma Couriers finally got the monkey off their backs after knocking out arch-rival PRK Mendy Muruks 28-26 in the first round of the 2023 Digital ExxonMobil Cup Elimination Finals on Sunday at the Santos National Football Stadium. Muruks always had the wood on Gurias in their last 2 encounters during regular season, convincingly beating them on both occasions.
Eastern Britain Agma Guria's head coach Francis Ray said Sunday's nail-biting win over Muruks was sweet revenge for his boys after their last 2 heartbreaking losses earlier in the season. The relieved coach said they came up with a different game tactic this time to start strong and stay in the grind consistently. Finally, they got a different outcome and one that really mattered to stay alive in the race.
When it comes to final footy, it's a different ballgame altogether, so we went through the week, playing against the Muruks. They're always the best team. They in the regular 2 rounds they've defeated us, and we knew that the final footy is going to be tough and hard. So the boys, we went through the training together, and the things that we need to work on, we did well. Our training preparation was good leading up to the match, so good effort from the boys today. So yeah.
Ray admitted that the boys squandered a number of scoring chances in the first half due to ill discipline with the ball, let alone minor defensive lapses, especially around the ruck, but recovered well in the second half to stop the fast-finishing Muruks fight back.
The first 40 minutes, the boys a bit of areas that we looked at, especially our delay and our line speed was not up there. So we talked to the boys during the halftime, and then if we have to win this game, the next 40 minutes to go. So I'm really impressed by the efforts that boys put up today, especially in the second half.
Coach Ray was overall impressed with the vibe and attitude of the whole team. Guria's next hurdle will be this Sunday against the Bintagor Gorokalahanis in the minors semi-final. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Young Jiwaka sensation and Guria's makeshift back rower turned centre, Alex Max has found his fit in the back three after scoring his first hat-trick on Sunday that almost single-handedly got the Gurias home in the gutsy win against Muruks. Max was slotted into the centre position by default after regular William Tirang was ruled out with an injury.
The former Wagi Tumbe centre was a real menace for the Muruks defence, especially in the first half, scoring a double to get the Gurias momentum going. Since joining the Gurias camp this year, young Jiwaka prodigy Alex Max has been playing at second row for majority of the season and has the ability to create his own luck using his deceptive footwork and explosive running style to beat the defence to the line.
Top season, we've been facing through. Nakambat, we've left to one plus our team lo Pool B. Na, I'm giving me extra effort lo putting through lo Full B. Since we're maintaining come, we've come awesome lo Pool B na we've Aya, I'm on the rough. Na season we've come through. Na mamas lo play this game na. Panin we've making through.
While regular centre William Tirang failing to make the team on Sunday due to injury, coach Francis Bray sent out an SOS to Max, who took it with both hands and delivered with a masterclass individual performance, scoring a hat-trick and picking up the Man of the Match award.
We've been played against second row since we played which is past previous games we played centre. Time we played down him. Me. Utility local position, so that's why coach him switching me original position in the center.
Max says it's been a tough season for the teams with changes to the regular competition format, but he thanked all their faithful supporters for sticking by his patience.
It's been very tough since supporters what I've been go, but maybe I can manage him through trusting one players maybe I can carry him self-confidence that maybe I can make through this game and win him. That's why I'm trusting not one player make through
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
People from non-English speaking backgrounds are significantly less likely to participate in organised sport in Australia. But for one Canberra refugee, overcoming barriers to play sport was one of the first things he did upon arriving in the country.
Walking into a kickboxing ring is daunting to most people, but not to Amir Jafari.
Round one, fight!
He's fought against plenty of tough opponents. The only difference for this fight is that he's in Australia.
The Australian community, especially my coaches, have helped me find a place to train and prepare. This is just the first step, and I'm looking forward to being the best I can be.
Amir was born in Iran and at 14 moved to Turkey, where he continued to rise through the kickboxing ranks. After 10 years in Turkey, he and his family finally immigrated to Australia almost a year ago.
Australia feels like a home to me. People have treated me well and with respect. There's been less discrimination in Australia.
Just 13% of Australian adults who speak a language other than English at home participate in sport through a club or association at least once a year. Many barriers prevent refugees like Amir joining their beloved sport.
The first challenge was I do not speak the language. Also, I wasn't really familiar with the place I had come to. And the third was navigating the public transport system.
Danielle Sweetman from the Red Cross sees the challenges and the benefits of sport participation firsthand. She's helped get Amir and many other Canberra refugees to the sporting arena.
When I know of one of our clients interested in participating in someone, I just do my best to try and facilitate them with that opportunity so that they can get out, do their thing and make new friends in Australia.
By immersing himself in the martial arts community, Amir has done just that.
We've seen him bringing his friends and family into the gym to watch him train along to fights and stuff like that. And so it's been really good seeing them become part of our community as well.
Amir's ambitions are clear.
I'll give this commitment to the Australian government. I will do my best to try and represent Australia at the international level, at the Olympics, God willing.
His first win in Australia, with many more ahead.
That ends the sports segment. Here is the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. This has been another edition of TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelaton. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.